Avengers Doomsday has a spectacular cast list, but I'm surprised to see only one actor from the last $2 billion films on the slate. As the Infinity Saga progressed, the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU) was on a hot streak by the end, putting out billion-dollar movie after billion-dollar movie. However, things have not been quite so profitable for the multiverse saga. So, when Marvel made their big announcement detailing the cast list for Avengers Doomsday, it would make perfect sense for Marvel Studios to fill out the roster with heroes that have earned the bulk of the profits from this saga. As it turns out, Marvel had different ideas, and in their lengthy but informative reveal, they put out 27 names of heroes from both the past, present, and future of the MCU, and some shocking reveals from before the MCU even began. The MCU's last two movies to earn $1 billion explained. The billion-dollar trend of Marvel movies slowed down a lot post-Endgame. In terms of the actual revenue earned from the multiverse saga, the MCU has not necessarily fallen into complete despair, but it's a far cry from what it looked like in the Infinity Saga. Since 2021, when Black Widow was released with an odd hybrid release schedule due to the global pandemic, the trajectory of earnings has not been incredible for Marvel Studios. However, after struggling to break $450,000 after the lockdown, Spider-Man No Way Home filled the theaters once again with a release that earned nearly $2 billion at the box office. Following No Way Home's success, there was a string of releases that managed to get close to the billion-dollar mark, but none crossed that line, and all of them were sequels to earlier franchises developed in the Infinity Saga. However, The Marvels ended up as the lowest box office return of any MCU movie to date. Following this, Marvel got its second and only other billion-dollar movie of the last 6 years with Deadpool and Wolverine. Avengers Doomsday only includes one actor from a $1 billion multiverse saga movie. Channing Tatum makes a surprise comeback in Avengers Doomsday. With that in mind, it would make sense for Avengers Doomsday, the first half of the big finale for this saga, to announce more beloved returning heroes, especially those seen in Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine. After all, both films featured heavy-hitter multiverse stories, with dozens of returning characters from throughout Marvel's history. But in the first and thus far only round of announcements for the Avengers Doomsday lineup, no Spider-Man, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, or even Chris Evans has been announced. Of course, this could change, but with none of the above-mentioned actors being named, it feels less certain that any or all of them will return. But one surprising inclusion did appear with Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum played Gambit, aka Remy LeBeau, in Deadpool and Wolverine, which stemmed from the actor being cast to play the character a decade earlier. Marvel has confirmed Avengers Doomsday's cast isn't complete yet. Avengers Doomsday is just beginning production. Despite the lack of announcing Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and many others featured in the multiverse billion-dollar hits, that does not mean these actors won't be included at all. Avengers Doomsday has already had hints dropped to suggest more superheroes will join the cast, though there is no clear confirmation about exactly who. After all, there are a lot of characters whose stories appear to be pushing them towards this major crossover event. Doomsday will likely provide more details as production continues, and while it has been sharing information liberally at present, that does not mean directors Joe and Anthony Russo won't want to keep some details a secret. The multiverse has cracked wide open, and there is a lot of space for other heroes and villains to return. It would make a lot of sense to have some of the most popular heroes from this past era, but whether they are included or not remains to be seen in Avengers Doomsday when the film finally does release.